Hi there. My name is Kay Moon, and I'm a Western astrologer and twin flame channel. And this is a video about the new moon in Aries and solar eclipse taking place on April 8th at 2:18 p.m. Eastern. Please check a time zone converter for your local time. This is such an extraordinary, powerful, potent, and palpable energy that will be with us for at least the next 60 days, definitely trailing into the next 90. This particular eclipse sparks a breakthrough, and the new moon sparks a breakthrough when it comes to who we get to be on the planet, how we get to be on the planet, and what we get to do on the planet. And I'm so excited to be able to share this with you. This new moon peaks at 2:18 p.m., like I said, with a solar eclipse at peak energy, roughly within an hour of this new moon. There it is at the 19th degree of Aries. We've been under the influence of this eclipse since 90 days ago, feeling the heightened effects of it the last 30 days in particular, and we'll feel its intensity through the next 30 and up to 90 days, with the biggest changes from this eclipse taking place from now through the end of May. So if this hasn't seemed like there's a lot going on for you just yet, or if things have already started to shift, but you're like, it's not finished, trust me, there's a lot more to come. But before we get into it, guys, I want to let you know that Manifestation Mastery is indeed open once again. If you would like to join, I offered this workshop last year and it was so popular that I ended up having to make some last minute adjustments to my Zoom so that I could fit everyone who wanted to join. But if you missed the chance to do this workshop when I ran it live last year, now is the chance to get a seat as I'm about to run it live again. Now, if you know me, you already know I only offer recordings of workshops that I've done live before. So if you miss it live, you're going to get recordings in the future. This is the only time with a workshop that I've actually offered it live a second time. And that's because the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction and the energy of this eclipse is so potent for manifestation that I want to make sure that if you've got questions, you have the opportunity to ask me live while the workshop is running. I'm also including some new information about the opening and closing of timelines that will complement what you learned in Manifestation Mastery last year, if you're taking it for the second time, and what you learned during Creator Conference last year. This live two-part manifestation workshop will have part one this Sunday, April 14th, with part two on Sunday, April 21st. We'll get the opportunity to do a manifestation challenge in that week in between with a special prize for the winner of that challenge. But if you have struggled with trying classic manifestation techniques like scripting or law of attraction tools like affirmations or visualization or living in the state of the wish fulfilled, keeping it a secret or declaring an intention, using crystals or programming your water, only to find that these techniques seem to work great for everyone else, but no matter how hard you try, nothing moves for you in the 3D. It's not you in that case, it's the technique. In all of our astrological charts, we each have a house that governs creation and manifestation. And that house tells you everything you need to know about how you personally are meant to manifest things out of the ether and into the world of form. In this workshop, we'll talk about how you're personally meant to manifest the big three: money, love, and health. And guess what? Your way is just not going to be everyone else's way. So if you're ready to crack the code on your personal manifestation blueprint, this workshop starts this weekend, and now is the time to join. If the times don't work for your schedule, recordings will be available. And if you've taken the workshop last year and you want to join again this year, All you have to do is log into your member area and grab the code so that you can get 40% off of Manifestation Mastery 2024. And once you log in, that code will be right here. Let me grab that annotation tool right there. Savings code for Manifestation Mastery right after you log in. I placed it right behind the introduction material. There it is. So if you want to join, you'll get 40% off of Manifestation Mastery for this year, this new year that we're in now. And when you join, you not only do you get that 40% off, you get access to all of last year's content. And then on top of that, you get the opportunity to join again this year and participate in the live group. So I love that for you. I love that it'll be easy for you to take advantage of joining in real time. And I'm excited to have you on board. But if you're joining for the first time, it is 144 USD. And that allows you to participate in both weekends and keep the recorded content. Okay. Very, very exciting. All right. And if you're just not a workshop person, you don't learn well online, you just would rather somebody break it down and tell you what it is, then getting a private reading is going to be the best thing for you. The link to do that is just below this video. I'm over at kmoonastro.com. And I can break down your personal manifestation technique and how to use it with the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction and the eclipses in your personal chart. I will not be talking about the conjunction or the eclipses in the workshop. I'm just going to be talking about the manifestation technique and how you find it in your chart. This is an advanced beginner and intermediate workshop. If you're struggling to know astrology, never looked at a chart before, the whole thing looks completely foreign to you, I recommend you get the personal reading. But if you've got your feet wet in astrology, you're going to love this workshop. It is by far my most popular workshop yet. Okay. This new moon in Aries and solar eclipse energy is a powerful, palpable energy full of big and beautiful growth, change, personal breakthrough, and it comes with a level of shedding, releasing, letting go of elements of ourselves, letting go of identities, letting go of stories that are no longer working for us. The freedom in this is palpable, guys. And it can be, if you're not used to freedom, really disorienting when we're either enslaved to our past or a story about how it was or how things used to be. Even yesterday, this moment of change can feel overwhelming and even confronting. With this eclipse, we have the chance to drop it, whatever it is, turn away from, delete, erase, and complete timelines of rejection, not enoughness, brokenness, and woundedness. And this eclipse, and in particular, the rest of the month of April and into the month of May, is a chance to step completely out of one reality and literally jump into a new one. This new moon in Aries takes place with a conjunction to Chiron, and that's what's allowing us to transcend stories from the past, woundedness from the past. It is sextile to Chariklo here. That's what's giving so much blessing energy within it. There is a square to Ceres here because Ceres is opening up a new season and the closing of an old one. There is a conjunction to Eris here at that 24th degree of Aries. And that's what's allowing us to see, oh, I've been living in disenfranchisement on crumbs and less, no mas for me. There is also a conjunction to Mercury, which is retrograde in Aries, opening up a lot of new consciousness for us when it comes to who we are and who we can be. This gorgeous energy is part of an entire portal that spans, like I said, into the beginning of May. that constitutes a timeline jump for all of us. And we get the opportunity in our divine creatorship and mastery to map a new reality and literally just step right into it, because we also have Jupiter and Uranus coming together, opening up that new timeline in what we call a semi-sextile between Jupiter and Uranus conjunct in Taurus, semi-sextiling this new moon and solar eclipse in Aries. And that's what's creating this portal energy, because this combination doesn't perfect until April 21st, and it stays in peak state through the middle of May. The months of April and May are some of the most cooperative energies available for literally bending reality to our will and stepping into outcomes that are aligned with our highest potential, the desires of our heart, and the truth of who we are. Aries in itself is about that forward movement, initiation, action. It's also about the self, the individual, and our identity. And that's the sign this eclipse is taking place in. With a new moon here, conjunct Chiron, we get the benefit of the entire Chironic journey, which is an identity journey that moves from rejection, abandonment, woundedness, toward wholeness, healership, and leadership. The alchemical magic here is through the profound wisdom of self-acceptance and surrender. And the confronting part of this, since it's a new beginning, new moon, and solar eclipse, the confronting part is the breakthrough. And the breakthrough isn't about accepting our woundedness. It's not about accepting the rejection. It's not about accepting that we were abandoned. That season of accepting those stories as a platform for the life we're establishing, well, I'm this way because I went through that, or my life is like this because that happened to me, that season is over. With Chiron conjunct this new moon solar eclipse, we get the opportunity to say, yeah, that happened. It's also done. It doesn't define me. What's happening right now as I'm listening to K Moon's words is not that. I'm breathing now. I'm sitting now, or I'm laying down now. Maybe you're walking right now, or maybe you're cooking or folding laundry right now. Whatever it is you're doing right now, as you are in exchange with this message, this moment is a chance for you to reestablish all of your energy, focus, and power here in the present time. This eclipse and this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction energy is an opportunity to anchor our lives into what we want and who we are at our core, rather than what we've been through and wounded identity states. Taurus here is the sign that deals with the desire of our hearts, and Aries here is the sign that deals with who we are. The real trigger in this new beginning solar eclipse is accepting our wholeness, our healership, our leadership, our mastery as divine creators incarnate. The real acceptance in a Chiron journey is that the past's power over us is dead. The real breakthrough is in choosing who we get to be and the kind of life we get to live, regardless of what happened. The confronting thing is recognizing that any continued pain stories we're living, it's because we're allowing it. And if we have unconsciously kept the door open to it, we can choose to consciously shut it and lock it and move forward with a clean slate. And that's the gift of this Aries new moon solar eclipse. We can build our lives from here forward with choices in alignment with prosperity and more than enoughness, rather than poverty consciousness. We can build our lives from love and choose to cultivate oneness rather than repeat stories of loss to justify what we do or don't have. We can make choices based on what we want to be appreciated for and what we appreciate about ourselves rather than abandonment stories from the past. The acceptance here with this eclipse is not in accepting what wasn't or what should have been. It's not about accepting defeat storylines. It's about accepting our power storylines and our ability to choose what happens next. And this is only heightened, as I said, by Chariklo's influence at this particular new moon. Chariklo operates as the divine intercessor in the etheric realms, speaking on our behalf to Creator without, to facilitate restoration for things that have been lost in states that are better than we had it before. Then there is the benefit of Ceres in Capricorn here. At the squaring angle, her energy is closing out cycles and seasons that we've outgrown, or seasons and cycles that are running in contrary of who we really are, that have solidified into the structures of our life. That's Capricorn. Ceres is instigating that these structures fall now. For many of this, because Capricorn deals with work, this is going to be the fall of a job, closure of a career path, release of a business structure or identity, the closure of a marriage or partnership, and the closure of anything that has been a structure in your life based on an identity, that's Aries, that you happen to have outgrown. A little mastery revelation here. Aries, the identity, comes before in the zodiac, Capricorn, the structure. There is no structure in our life that is not a direct reflection of what we've allowed ourselves to identify with. Everything we have or do not have is a direct reflection of our identity, our boundaries, our marriages, our homes, the money we make in our careers, the types of businesses we have, all of it, the furniture in our apartments, all in our homes, our cars, all of it are a direct reflection of what we believe to be true about ourselves. So as things are dissolving at this time, understand that it's also a direct reflection of identities you've outgrown, and thus these structures of your life that mirror that back to you also having been outgrown and no longer having the fuel and energy to exist as they once did. Now, add to this Eris and Aries and Mercury retrograde, these two here. These are only heightening the internal pressure to no longer count ourselves out and not let anyone else do it to us either. The Eris influence is opening a tenderness to where we are resentful of exclusion, an internal sympathy with self that we will not be excluded any longer. The Mercury retrograde is opening up the access to getting it right with ourselves in the sign of Aries, identity, ambition, movement. It's quieting the overthinking so self-aligned action can be taken. It's also allowing us to review the micro decisions that led to life as we knew it before, so that as we take new actions, we are inherently and even more automatically making decisions and taking actions that are aligned with who we are becoming. This is such a breakthrough portal period. Now, in a moment, we're going to talk about which signs are going to feel this more than others, and there are some. But first, if this is an energy that you want to take advantage of with some intentionality, so that you know you could use some direct support from your chart, there are readings available this week and next week for us to talk. Like I said, this is a portal, so it's not just one day. If you're seeing your reality crumble, but you are uncertain of what's next in love and career, business, as you retire, as your kids go to college, as you close out of one season and move into another. Our chart holds the blueprint for what will fulfill what we need, what we want, and how to access it. And for those of you who already have the answer to that question, Manifestation Mastery Workshop is going to help you create new timelines. For those of you who know what you want in love, know what you want to create in your work or career, or if you just want to take advantage of this manifestation portal between now and the end of May, then join Manifestation Mastery now, okay? The link to join is just below this description box in this video, so too is the link to get on my calendar. Now, we are all going to feel this eclipse, and there are a few signs, sun and rising, who are going to feel this eclipse more than others and really see greater activity in the external world between now and the closing of this portal at the end of May. The signs that are going to feel this most are Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, and Sagittarius. If you happen to have sun or rising in the sign of Aries, this is going to invite you into new relationship with yourself more than any other sign. You're going to notice a significant level of release of your old identity. Now, this can be confusing, ungrounding, disorienting for all of us, but in particular for you. Get excited. The feeling of being unmoored at this time is a great thing. You get to reset the magnetics on your own compass for true north in this. So run with it. Create a new you, because a new you means a new life. And Libra, there is a big, beautiful, amazing new beginning for you in love and partnerships. If there isn't a person in your life now, there will be soon. As you use this eclipse to purge and release old stories about relationships, how people treat you in your relationships, and what you can have in love and partnership. As you use this eclipse to purge and release the old, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for you to chart your direction into new territory in love. Get your journal out, and rather than thinking about what you don't want, start thinking about what you do want and take action to live in alignment with that. What you do want to solidify and how that looks as a timeline. Start thinking about that, releasing any thought about the old so you can close out these old cycles. Cancer, you're going to find that this eclipse is opening up some new doorways for you in the world of work. By accepting that you have the power to create what you want through the power of your emotional alignment with this eclipse, you get to have breakthroughs and visibility, promotions, and even pay. But the access point is the formation of a new identity in the world of work as someone who is a leader, who has a ton to offer, who is clear and courageous, respected and respecting their own gifts, respected and respecting their own time. Cancer, you got this. The new breakthrough in work is upon you. Take advantage of this energy with your focus. Capricorn, if you happen to be a Capricorn or a Capricorn rising, for you, this is a breakthrough in the foundation of your life, family and home, where you live and how you live. You get the chance with this energy to write a new story in your family dynamic. If you thought your mom and dad would never change, you can harness this energy through deciding that you're different with them and they're going to be different with you. You thought you were the black sheep? Maybe you've worn the title of golden child. Both carry a heavy burden because neither is allowed to be who they truly are. Positive or negative expectations, they're still expectations. And expectations always block a true connection. Your breakthrough will come through owning a new identity in your family dynamics and in your home life. and releasing other people's expectations of you so that you can be free to be all of you. For some of you, this is going to be a new home in addition to that. So get clear about what you want and get into aligned action. Leo, for you, this is a major opportunity to get your creative projects off the ground and solidify your manifestations, generally speaking. You'll get the chance, Leo, to see what you've been working on come into formation very rapidly with this eclipse. Also, Leo, you're one of the signs with this eclipse new moon in particular that could find themselves conceiving or getting the breakthrough idea of a lifetime. So if you've been trying to literally or metaphorically get pregnant or get clarity for your business, then you can take it to the next level with some intentionality. Keep solidifying in your mind that you're the parent of a beautiful, healthy soul, or that you'll have all the ideas you need to have a successful, healthy business project. And the ideas and conception will indeed come. Trust. Lastly, but not leastly, the sign that will feel this the most is Sagittarius. Sagittarius, sun or rising. For you, this is a rebirth of faith, where you've doubted yourself, your potential, and your life outcomes. This new moon will help you reinvest in your faith in you. You'll get the chance to take actions that will help you remember who you are with this eclipse. And it's important that you say yes when these opportunities come. Some opportunities are going to come through travel, others through education, and still others may come through a chance to expand your relationship with God within and God without, so that you can expand your capacity for your divine creatorship. Whatever comes in for you to solidify your faith, hope, and optimism, Sagittarius, please say yes, because this eclipse and new moon promise to be the foundation of several breakthroughs in career and purpose in the fullness of time. Now, if your sign wasn't the ones that I listed, but you know you want some of these things for yourself, now's the time to jump into manifestation mastery, and we'll talk about your personal manifestation technique for love, money, and health and well-being so that you never have to waste your time on techniques that are not tailored for you personally again. The link to join is just below this video. Now, let's have a look at some of the supporting energies with this eclipse that are enhancing our abilities for breakthrough. As I mentioned, we have Mercury retrograde here in Aries at the 24th degree. This Mercury retrograde is conjunct Eris here. As I mentioned, it is square Pluto in Aquarius, and it is also sextile Vesta in Cancer. This combination brings forward the opportunity for deepened thought and wisdom, the ability to see the truth behind the lies, for concentration, focus, and deepened mental action. Because Pluto is about endings and power, and Vesta is about dedication, and Mercury is moving in reverse motion, we get a chance to change our minds here, to see things from new perspectives. We also have the chance to emotionally disengage from thought patterns that may have been entrenched, but we just don't need anymore. We have the chance to let go of ways of thinking, especially about ourselves, because Mercury is in Aries, the sign of the self, that have seemed locked in and true, and begin to dissolve so-called truths that have kept us trapped in a way of being that we've outgrown. If you've got the identity that you're a problem child, or you've been hanging on to the identity, maybe it's being an addict and that's not working for you anymore. Maybe it's the identity of being perpetually single, or maybe and love not being for you but against you. Maybe it's the identity of being someone else's husband or wife or parent with no identity of your own, always having an identity defined by somebody else or attachment to somebody else. There is a ton of releasing of old identities and paradigms with Mercury retrograde in Aries and the ability to own our personal power. That's the Pluto component through new ways of thinking. That's the Aquarius component. Quantum leaps in consciousness with Pluto speaking to that Mercury. Really beautiful energy. We also have Mars and Saturn conjunct in Pisces, the two of them sextile the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Taurus there at the 19th and 21st degree, and also a sextile to Ceres in Capricorn here at that 17th degree. The Mars-Saturn conjunctions are always powerful times for getting things done and taking aligned action. But during this lunation in particular, the combination of these two are instigating a chance for us to go much deeper when it comes to ending misaligned behaviors that undermine our true timelines. The Saturnian influence is inviting us into wholeness and integrity, and the Martian influence is making it easy for us to take action that is in alignment with wholeness and integrity, and difficult to take any other action. The Jupiter-Uranus influence here via the sextile is only adding pressure and expansive opportunity, like I said earlier, to jump into new realities with a single action. It's a very butterfly effect type of energy. Small actions taken in spiritual alignment, that's the Pisces piece, with who we are now, lead to completely new timelines and new realities in the fullness of time. And once again, Ceres in Capricorn is heralding the close of reality, the close of a timeline, the closure of a season in our life. Venus and Neptune are conjunct in Aries and Pisces, with Venus in Aries and Neptune in Pisces, only 6 degrees between them, with the two of them in conjunction squaring this Vesta in Cancer, early degrees of Cancer, opposite the Shaman's asteroid here in Lilith, in Libra, sorry, not Lilith, at the 9th degree. And we have a trine to Pallas in Sagittarius. Here's Pallas here in Sagittarius, and a square to Pholus here in Capricorn. Venus and Neptune in conjunction always open up a connection to unconditional love and the experience of unconditional love. It's an ability to live and let live, and a heightened ability to release attachments. This energy can be very triggering because of the way it makes it difficult to hold on to anything we're attached to through our egoic center, especially with Venus in Aries. That would be anything material or romantic, or in our identities, like being attached to being a mom or being a CEO or being a homeowner or the president of the community organization or a librarian or a lawyer. Where you've got attachment, this energy is going to challenge it. This combination is like trying to grasp an attachment, but only grabbing a fistful of water or a fistful of air. It's not attainable or grabbable in this energy. Now we can experience this in shadow or in the light. Now, on the shadow side, we find with Neptune and Venus conjunct, we grab onto and double down and invest in things that are clearly no longer working for us, clearly are ungraspable for us at this time. However, in the light, we can experience the liberation and freedom and letting go. Nothing has to be or do anything, but including and especially you as a divine creator being incarnate. You don't have to be anything. You can create and recreate yourself as many times as you want in this lifetime. Having to be anything is a mental construct that can be unconstructed with Neptune and Venus connected in this energy. They tend to test the ego when it comes to non-attachment. every time. Add to this the opposition from Makemake, the shaman's asteroid here in Libra, all about lessons learned in connection, since it's in Libra, and the trine to Pallas in Sagittarius, all about the protection of truths and standing for truth and best possible outcomes. And then this Pholus influence here inside of Capricorn, specifically pointing out toxicity, Pholus, and structures, Capricorn. This combo is making it very clear to us which environments in the 3D have become poisonous to us or are asking us to be something we're not any longer. We've got a wonderful cocktail here for being pushed, poked, prodded, invited, yanked, and dragged into operating in much greater alignment with our true self and higher self. This is one of those energies in which we might try to source things from our past or that we've always relied upon, only to find the door to those things now closed. We have a Jupiter conjunct Uranus as well. My favorite energy of the season, like I said, is what's creating a portal out of this rather than a precise eclipse day. This Jupiter conjunct Uranus in Taurus has a grand trine going on with a trine here to Lilith in Virgo and to Pholus here in Capricorn, grand Earth trine. And we also have a square to Chariklo in Aquarius right there. And a sextile to Nessus in Pisces. Where is our Nessus in Pisces? Right here. Okay. This energy right here is the absolute star of the show. If there was ever an astrological energy that could show up an eclipse and make an eclipse of this magnitude seem less significant, this is it. Jupiter conjunct Uranus is literally darn near eclipsing this eclipse. There are many who will not feel the totality of this eclipse's impact until we get to the perfection of the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction around April 21st. The end of the month of April, all the way through the beginning of June, tail end of May, is going to be a very potent time for integration when it comes to these energies landing and solidifying new timelines. Thankfully, there are 2 weeks between the eclipse new moon and the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction perfecting. In this period of time, a few things we can expect are heightened intensity, time between thinking and rendering shortening when it comes to our manifestations. In other words, rapid manifestation. Perhaps a tad bit of heightened physical energy and insomnia. Use it to your advantage. Some major aha moments and insights. You'll also see some about faces, revolutions, and new pathways opening up that are once in a lifetime opportunities coming back around, as during this period of time, Mercury will retrograde conjunct the North Node and bring opportunities from the past, conversations from the past, back into the present time. There's definitely, I detail the, wait, let me go back here. With this, we're all going to see some level of tension as the momentum of old timelines, which we could confuse or conflate with power of old timelines, tries to automatically repeat while we work through the awkwardness and discomfort as stepping into our new timelines and new comfort zones. The old comfort zone is always going to be appealing, always going to feel alluring, always going to be the go-to as long as we allow it to be. There will be some tension as we step into something new, and that's natural. The first time on ice skates or roller skates doesn't feel automatic. We have to work to it feeling automatic. I detail the full impact and what you'll experience with this energy of the Jupiter and Uranus conjunction that picked up in intensity at the beginning of March and goes all the way through the tail end of May. I detailed all of that for each of the 12 signs in the Jupiter and Uranus conjunction special for all 12 signs. It's in the lives tab of this YouTube channel. So definitely have a listen to that to get the full picture. But in addition to the solar eclipse, this energy is absolutely life changing in the absolute best of ways. It is giving us every opportunity to begin again in some area of life and reorganizing our 3D reality around the desires of our heart. The trick is recognizing that the endings unfolding at this time, the changes that are happening at this time, they are for this purpose and not resisting the closeouts. They're trying to get us to our higher timeline. The only thing that can stop us, given the magnitude of this kind of astrological activity, is us. You guys, we got this. And if you want to join me for Manifestation Mastery and learn the secrets to opening and closing timelines, your personal manifestation technique according to astrology, and how to manifest love, health, and money, then now is the time to join Manifestation Mastery. We are live on Sundays on Sunday, this Sunday and next Sunday, with recordings available for those who are not able to join on Sunday if it doesn't work for your schedule. Details are on the enrollment page here. The link to this enrollment page is just below this video. Be sure if you've done Manifestation Mastery before, you enroll with that savings code in your old member area so that you'll have the opportunity to participate live in the new group. Thank you so much for all the likes, subscribes, and shares. It's always a pleasure to do this with you at each lunation. And I will see you at the full moon in Scorpio coming up in just about 2 weeks. Let's do first look now, where I take a look at that full moon in Scorpio and let you know what to expect and how it's going to play out. All right, let's have a look at this full moon in Scorpio coming up on April 23rd at 7:48 p.m. if you happen to be on the eastern seaboard of the United States. Definitely check a time zone converter for your local sign. Very interesting energy. So that new moon solar eclipse in Aries had a ton of cardinal fire energy. So it was all about some new beginnings and taking action. This particular full moon in Scorpio has a ton of fixed water energy. And this is all about really getting to the root of some of our new emotional foundations and closing out some emotional cycles when it comes to the unfoldment of some previous releasing some previous energies. We see here the full moon is directly square to Pluto, so we've got an activation of personal power with this. As always, whenever we have a T-square in this configuration, the answer is out here in Leo, which is all about creative authority and sovereignty. This particular full moon is absolutely conjunct creation goddess as well. She's in retrograde motion in the sign of endings. So full moons also represent closures. It's going to be some closure energy for us, allowing us to solidify the completion of everything we're done with based on the revelations that may have cropped up at the Aries new moon solar eclipse and giving us the emotional chutzpah to fully close the door on those things, so that we have the capacity to stand in our creative authority and have that new beginning that we want to have. Interestingly enough, we've got some great energies connected with this full moon from Juno here. So some influence from partnerships. We've got a little bit of influence here as well, I'd say from Vesta. So, and some continued conversation here from Pholus, who seems to be an ongoing star of the show this year with Capricorn, really giving us the message overall this year. You keep playing with fire, you will indeed get burned. Like, stop touching the stove if you don't like being burned. Like, leave poison behind, stop drinking it. So it seems to be a continued theme over the course of this year. I really like to see this energy because it's for those who've had some struggles with walking away, letting go, putting things down that are toxic, releasing the old so that you can have the new. For those who've been trying to fight the old, trying to fight, old stories and old timelines, this is going to be your invitation to stop fighting. Let go before your fingers and your arm get yanked off with it. To release your engagement with the old and release substantiating it by continuing to fight it. Begin the process of living in some newness. And that's the way the old falls, is when you own your power in the newness. Stop trying to fight darkness. Start living in light. This is a very powerful energy, very palpable energy. That's the way you fight darkness, is you start living in light rather than trying to. Sometimes fighting in darkness only re-empowers it, it reinvigorates it, it breathes new life into it. And this is going to be the lesson for some folks as we move into this full moon in Scorpio. Really powerful stuff, guys. We're in a potent season where the universe is definitely working overtime. God's planets are working overtime to get us onto new timelines. Like I said earlier, the only thing standing in between us and new timelines is our own behaviors. All right, guys, that's what I got. Look forward to seeing you this Sunday in Manifestation Mastery, or seeing you in a private reading this week or next week. Take great care, guys, and bye for now.